Dear viewers, welcome to our channel Pots and Plants. Today we are going to discuss about a plant called Vinca. In Hindi it is known as sadabahar and in Bengali it is known as Nayantara. This is not a common variety of Vinca which we used to see in our backyards generally. Usually grows of its own, but in this case this is a special variety of Vinca and it is a hybrid Vinca which comes in variety of colors like rose paint. It is very sensitive kind of plant. We generally don't recommend it to the beginners who have just started the rooftop gardening. You can see a little bit of more sunlight and the leaves started to squeeze. You can see it. Leaves already started to squeeze because of heavy sunlight. So you need to keep this plant under shade. This is a hybrid variety of Vinca you are seeing. These are some hybrid young Vinca plants germinated from the seeds falling directly from the mother plant. The mother plant died because it is a seasonal plant and it is not a permanent plant. Generally grows as well as blooms in summer and rainy season and dies as the winter comes. You can see we will be going to plant this young Vinca plants in a new pot. Well viewers, potting of these young Vinca plants, first we are going to mix some garden soil with construction sand. In this case we are going to add 80% of the garden soil with 20% of the sand, and we are not going to add vermicompost or master cake in this case, which you can add, but in this case we are not adding any kind of master cake or any kind of vermicompost. You can see we are grinding the soil, making it very fine, and then we will be adding construction sand rather, 20% of the construction sand. More we need is the garden soil because it will be 80% of the total quantity. We are adding more garden soil, and then we will be adding construction sand. This hybrid variety of Vinca is very sensitive in nature. Little bit of water logging and heavy sunlight or heavy rainfall, the plant may collapse. We are going to add some construction sand to this garden soil. This is 80% of the garden soil which we will be needed for planting the young plants. 20% of construction sand we are adding, more bit of sand. We will be mixing it properly. So that water don't get stuck in the pot. The idea is to avoid forming mud in the pot actually. We are giving some more construction sand. It will be 20% of the total quantity. This sand we are mixing it properly so that water don't get stuck in the pot. Now this is the pot. Check the hole of the pot for drainage of water. We are placing a piece of rough brick to make sure that water drain well from the pot not the soil. Now we are transferring the mixed soil to the respective pots rather. The hole is being checked and it is being closed by a rough brick, mixing the soil with the sand and then transferring it into the pot. You can see, viewers, well, it is done. Make a little gap. Now it is time to uproot the young Vinca plant carefully. Here you can see we are doing it very gently. Very gently and carefully the young plant has been uprooted. And then potting it carefully. Very carefully we are potting the uprooted plant, young plant. This is very young plant. Pressing the soil hard so that there remains no gap. Similarly, we will be doing the same thing for the second pot. We are going to uproot the young plant very carefully. You can see we are doing it very gently and then placing it very carefully, pressing the soil hard so that there remains no gap in it. After potting, we will be adding a fertilizer that will be DAP, diammonium phosphate. The idea is to help the roots of the young plant to take the grip of the soil. We will be adding DAP, diammonium phosphate, which you already know perhaps. DAP, very essential for roots, for new plantation, for the roots of the young plant to take the grip of the soil. We will be adding DAP, diammonium phosphate. 10 to 12 granules of DAP we will be adding. We could have added in liquid form of DAP by mixing water with the granules, but we want to dissolve the granules of DAP slowly, very slowly, so we are adding the granules of DAP in solid form, 10 to 12 granules of DAP. Similarly, we will be adding 10 to 12 granules, solid granules of micronutrient. These micronutrients are very enriched with boron, iron, manganese, zinc as well as calcium. You can see we are adding 10 to 12 granules of micronutrient we are adding micronutrient as well as DAP. Then we will sprinkle little bit of water in the plant and over the young plant as well as on the soil of the pot. It is almost done. We'll keep these two pots under shade. Just 1 hour evening sunlight will be sufficient. For 1 week, we will be adding just water as and when required. And after 1 week, we will start with fertilizer NPK 19-19-19 in every 10 days, and then after 15 days, antifungal as well as insecticide will be followed. This young plant will bloom after 45 days, and we will show that in our coming videos in coming days. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you find our content very helpful, then please like, share as well as comment, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you all. Thank you.